Okay, in this video, we're going to create a banner image. Uh, it's very common for websites to have sort of like a rectangular strip with a graphic in it going across the top of the website, which sort of introduces the concept or the idea of the website. You get an initial feel for it. Maybe if you're located in a particular city, that's, I think at any rate, it's a great place to put in like a skyline of your city, of the city or area, because people tend, in my opinion, people tend to, despite the fact that it's a virtual world, it's a global world, when they buy goods and services, when they do anything really, they still are thinking locally. At any rate, so let's get started here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a div tag where I'm going to put in an image that spreads out and will proportionally change depending on what the user does with the browser window. I want my image to naturally scale based on whatever screen size, whatever kind of device, etc. I want it to still look right, look natural. Okay, so I'm going to give this an ID of banner. And now, it's also nice to have a logo in there too, right? A lot of times in the upper right-hand corner we'll do that, but for right now, let's just handle the main graphic. Let's just handle the main graphic. Let's see here. Okay. Well, I want to quickly just go over and look for my graphic. Okay. All right. Okay, so now you can see here with this one, you'll get a picture of what it is in just a moment. The width is 900, about 900, and the height is 204. Normally, across the top of your banner, you want to start with an image that at least roughly approximates the shape that's going to appear in front of people, or what is naturally going to be there in terms of, it's going to be a rectangle, right? I mean, normally it's going to be a rectangle. In my case, it is definitely a rectangle, because I like that style. And okay, let's see here. Well, so we need to add some styles. Okay, on PHP Storm, if you use it to get the numbers here and to make the code wrap, you hold down Control and you click in this border area. You see this border area here? You click in there and then show line numbers. Hold down Control again and you can use soft wraps. Soft wrap will kind of, if your line of code gets really long going over this way, it will wrap it around, right? If you change this, it'll wrap it around. Okay. All right, so the first thing, we need our background image. No, we first need to target that element. I called it banner. Okay. So we want our background image. And here we're going to specify the URL, and it's in images. Make this a string, images, and University. Okay, yeah, it was University PHP first. Okay, so we've got that. We've located our image. And remember, I have an images folder that is on the same level with my, I called this box model because in a couple of videos I'm going to do something on the box model, which is really important, but we're going to get back to it. So you can see here's my file, box model. All right, box model CSS. Okay, background position. Now, I'm going to give this center and center. All right. And actually, before we do that, we're going to give this background size. And now, here's where we're going to give it a property that will make it naturally change and twist and turn to fit the browser window, no matter what the user does. And this will also make it responsive, right? If you're looking at it at this banner on a tablet or on a widescreen monitor, a normal size monitor, a phone, whatever, we want it to be able to take care of that. So I gave this cover, and so what that's going to do is, okay, another thing, one more thing here. We're going to give this a height of 140 pixels, okay, and we're going to give it a width of 100% of the browser window of the device, of the viewport, okay? And all right, so it's going to go from the left edge all the way over to the right edge. And oh, one other thing, in order to make this fit snug up against the edges of our device, the edges of the browser window, I'm going to give the body, okay? And remember, the body tag will include and sort of envelop all of the rest of my code. All right, my body is like my ultimate thing, boundary line surrounding all of the stuff I have. And if I give it a margin of 0, it's going to push itself, it's going to back itself up against the snug, right up against the edge of the browser window. And here you can see I said 0px for pixel. If the value is 0, you can omit the px. It doesn't matter. All right, so now a lot of people, it's quite common to not set a height for a div tag or for an element in your HTML, because if you have like some paragraph of some text and an image that floats to the right, you don't know how much text is going to be in it. Maybe you make something for a client, and maybe they'll add in more text later, right? For example, you could have on your back end, actually I quite often will have on the back end an interface for your client to change some of their own text, right, and update their website. And they might put in a little more than you expected, and you need your tags to be able to adjust to that. Now, as a practical matter, sometimes you're going to need to tell your client, hey, for page layout purposes, this particular section of this web page, don't put in too much text, or put in only a little bit. But when it comes to a banner, it is very customary, it's very standard to go ahead and give it a height property. And I do sometimes give a height property to lots of different parts, even though I not always, but so it's okay. If you read somewhere that you shouldn't do that, you will probably also read that in terms of the banner, it's very standard to do that. It's very normal. Okay. Now so first thing we said, we want it to cover. We want it to cover the whole area, right? Now here we had this refers to where we want the browser to start drawing out the image horizontally and vertically. Okay, and the first one relates to the horizontal axis. The second one is vertical. And you can put in here top, center, or bottom. And then for vertically, you can put in top, center, or bottom. So I just chose center, center. Okay, so we've got this horizontal strip, and I want it to start right in the middle and start drawing it out. And then you will see that it will adjust itself. Now, because in the next video we are also going to put in a logo and a little bit of text, and I want to position those in, use absolute positioning for those. I'm just going to insert this in here now. And so again, in the next video we're gonna do a little something more. But so let's take a look at what we have here. All right, so here is our I'm going to call this University of PHP, right? Now, what happens if the user changes the browser width? You can see how it naturally scales. It twists and turns proportionally, right? And so I chose my image to naturally sort of fit. Remember how I chose my image beforehand, okay? Beforehand, I knew that this had a height of 900, a width of 900 and a width and a height of 204, okay? It won't look very good if this was a square. Now it will naturally adjust it. It will change things proportionally, but that just kind of modifies it at the edge. Like if we tried this same thing with an image that was square, it won't look very good, right? So for example, let's try that. Let's try a different image. Like let's put in this new avatar here. Okay, well, so now I'll restart that. So you can see it really makes it. I put in a picture of myself, and there it will change it, right? But you need to start with an image that roughly approximates what the users are going to be. Most users are, if you have this height set, right, which is normal, right? You'll have kind of a strip. It's normal to have a strip there, right? You need to start with an image that is at least somewhat close to what is going to be appearing on the screen. I hope that was clear. I'm not sure if I made it exactly that clear, but I think you get the idea. So again, all I have is this div tag here, and the image is placed in here, and it is made proportional. Now in a moment we're going to stick a logo and things up in the upper left hand corner here. Okay.